From the dawn of time, man has been on a quest for entertainment, a quest to find the greatest in streaming. These are their adventures.
All right.
Hello and welcome to Binge Buddies. I'm Brian Hill, the jack of all trades, the master of none. And tonight with me, I got my good old buddy.
Oh, that's I forgot the pause. Yeah, this was on Brian's channel last week, which was one of the best. That was the one I forgot the pause. I was like, oh wait, Brian, are you there? And I was like, all right, so that was last week's version. Go check it out after this episode. Binge Buddies is back. We're taking the show on the road. We do get the Binge Buddies can go invade other channels. Next week, we're planning to invade the lounge. We're on a mission. All of you viewers in there that are still watching and all on the panel, we have a mission to get Ultimate Enosh to watch Highlander. He's never seen Highlander, I think, and he does a Sean Connery impression. We cannot have that stand, Ambassador.
No.
Ambassador.
No. Yes.
What do you have any words for Enosh? Why has he not watched Highlander? Oh my
Enosh,
goodness.
I only have one question. What have you been doing with your life?
No.
How can you not seen one of the greatest movies of all time with one of the greatest bands of all time doing the freaking soundtrack?
Wait, what's that?
Queen.
Okay. Oh, okay. I forgot about that part. Yeah.
Yeah, Queen.
Oh, that.
Woo, rock on.
Yeah, that's a shame.
You must have Queen in your life. If you do not have Queen in your life, there's something seriously wrong. There's really something seriously wrong with us.
Yeah.
If you do not have Queen in your life.
Yes. Movie Madness Entertainment says he'd be 5 minutes late, and he was. Sir Nerd a lot. He's in my binge buddy. He's going to be just listening for now. Smash the like button. Yeah, Barcelona.
Smash that like button.
Barcelona B. Hey, Barcelona B, if you ever want to come on the Binge Buddy show or any show, let us know. Yeah, how you been? We're going to talk about a little bit like we talked on Ambassador's channel last night for his anniversary stream. We're going to talk about casting because guess what?
Oh yes.
Here's the thumbnail. The Rebels are coming, and so is Thrawn. Thrawn is coming, and casting choices. I made a thumbnail of this guy. I saw some pictures, some other pan, and I put this together. This is very close approximation. That's not a word, but whatever. Approximation of Lars Mikkelsen. Approximation, yeah, of Lars Mikkelsen as Thrawn. This is pretty close to what he would look like. We also saw Rosario Dawson before she was officially in from the fan art was pretty close.
Oh yeah.
So, what do you think of? Does he look intimidating there? He has the
he
has the acting chop. He has the acting chops.
I think they might have to do. Okay, basically, you just did a blue. The one thing that's missing is the eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Those red eyes that every chest has. They're
a little red. They're a little red there.
They need to be like pure red.
Yeah.
Like my picture.
Yes. Well, the other casting choices are for Ezra, and Sabine Wren. That is the guy from Force Unleashed. What's his name again? And that's the actual Sabine Wren voice actress who I've seen in shows. She's on The Good Place, and I've seen her in some other things. Do you think she's now Ahsoka that did the voice acting did not transfer over to live action, but since she's already active in an actress and she does voice work, could you see her as Sabine Wren? I maybe should have put another image in there.
Absolutely.
I think if they shorten her hair, obviously, and yeah, I could see it.
You can see
They
it.
have to
Easily.
change the hair, but other than that, and, just to chat, McLovin is here. Neo Sci-Fi is here, and Barcelona B wants to know: is this spoiler talk for Mandalorian?
Yeah, we could do spoilers.
Well, she's like, she wants to make sure before I comment. So
Yeah, I think everyone that's wanted to watch it has. I mean, that's the one good thing about the pandemic. Like, people have watching this show.
Yeah.
It's a few days later. Yeah, we could go full spoilers.
So
Hey, Neon Sci-Fi. All right. So the Rebels are coming though. They had live action Rebels. Now these are my top choices. I forget the actress's name. I gotta look it up. I had it looked up, but I accidentally closed some tabs. I want her to make the transfer over, and then a lot of people I've seen on Twitter have been all talking about as Ezra, the guy that played Aladdin.
that I could see. I mean, I did not see the new Aladdin, but I could totally see. Just looking at the picture, I could see that guy and everything playing Ezra.
Yeah,
Well, that was kind of like the vibe I got from Ezra too. He was kind of like a street urchin that would, he was kind of like Aladdin in that first couple episodes of Rebels.
Yeah,
so it's like
that's true.
Well, but this will be an older Ezra, and I think honestly, I think the guy can do it. I've heard from a lot of people, particularly Madman Bastard, that he's a good actor. He did a good job as Aladdin in the live action version. So I'll give him a shot.
Yes. Let me see. All right, let me get here. Also, I saw this on Twitter. Ahsoka.
Okay.
As she gets older.
Yeah.
They really did spot on there. Really did spot on.
I am sorry, but to everybody that's out there pissing and moaning, I'm sorry. Rosario Dawson, she nailed it. She nailed the action. She nailed the dialogue. She nailed it. She's a good actress, and she did a good job with this.
And I actually did some research. I'm like, is all this fake news about people wanting to cancel her? No, it's actually true. I searched the hashtag on Twitter, and I actually saw some people I know that are YouTubers, and I was disappointed because there's not really evidence yet. And the story is the person was also a tenant, and there was eviction, and there's all these conflicts of interest because it's a person, it's someone that you're hired for work, and they were also a landlord and eviction type situation. So you don't know, and I don't know if she's actually officially competent. And until something's proven, I do care, but man, it is bad. It is bad on there. There's plenty of it that she's been getting. I think it's actually seeing her as the character. A lot of that's been silenced though, but rest assured, Disney would not hire someone if they didn't vet them, especially after the James Gunn situation.
Yeah, I agree.
If they actually thought there was something there, they know more details than we do. They would not hire her if they thought something's going to come of it.
If I might interject for just a second, here's the thing. When it comes down to it, I don't really care about a person's politics when it comes to people in the entertainment industry, because they are people just like us, except they're famous. They're actors or actresses or singers or producers or directors or whatever. Guess what? If you keep canceling everybody that disagrees with you politically or socially, you're going to be watching paint dry on a wall. So,
well, it's also because there's a lawsuit against her and her family.
Yeah.
You can't do that. You can't file lawsuits and just guilty by law. People file lawsuits all the time. You don't know. Yeah. I'm sure Disney would have looked into it. I'm sure, because at the time of her hiring, it was already public knowledge that this person had a lawsuit against her and her family. So
heck, they're not Warner Brothers,
right? Yeah.
So
I mean, this was it's not like this. They hired her and then this happened. This was active when she was hired. Disney knows what it's doing. If they can see ahead, you can't retroact. Well, they didn't with James Gunn though, but oh well,
Yeah.
that's different.
And yeah, I was about to comment on this. People are debating if it's going to be Luke or Ezra. There's one other possibility that, I mean, I know it isn't somebody that is well known, but Cal Kestis or anything, which we brought up last night over on my stream and everything when we were talking about possible force wielders and everything that are currently or possibly alive in this time frame of the Mandalorian. So you've got 3 possibilities for sure. And I'm sorry to disappoint everybody. Mace Windu is dead.
No, he's not. No one's ever really gone. No one is ever really gone. And if they're gonna do it for everyone else, you bring back my Mace Windu, Mace Windu with Samuel L. Jackson. Give him a freaking series.
Dead. Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
No.
The character is dead. He got electrocuted and tossed out of a freaking window. He's dead.
That's what happened to the Emperor too.
So did Palpatine.
I mean, come on.
That's going to be your argument.
Question for all you Binge buddies out there.
A plot point that was yanked from Dark Empire that was poorly integrated into The Rise of Skywalker. That's going to be your argument.
Well,
for Mace Windu being electrocuted to the point of death by Force Light and then chucked out a window.
Hey, Binge buddy, official Twitter. We need to do a poll. Who should never really be gone? Mace Windu, Palpatine, Darth Maul, and think of someone else. I think
Maul dead. Vader, Force Ghost, Windu, dead. Palpatine, super dead.
Well, I actually, this series too. It may be actually for those. Listen, the movies, the trilogy should stand on its own for quality, but it had no. Okay, Ambassador.
Sorry,
laughing it up. But these series leading up, linking, could it actually make the sequel trilogy better as it goes forward? Yes, it can.
It's exactly like the Clone Wars TV show.
Yeah.
Let's all be honest. If it wasn't for the Clone Wars TV show, nobody would watch Attack of the Clones.
I would, but I mean, it's more. You
get more of appreciation out of it
now. Yes. I have a feeling that. Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Max. I'll say my piece after you're done.
No, I have a feeling that the way it's going is it could actually make the sequel trilogy better with plot lines in here. The more seasons you get into it.
Sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. For me, they're done. They're over with. I don't give a rat's behind.
Well,
let's move on with what we've got that's good and just too much to
my wife just last night when we were watching, she's like, what if Grogu and Kylo are at the school, Luke's school?
Yeah.
And that would really mess you up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, is it possible?
Oh, absolutely. 100%.
It's possible, but we don't know.
No, we don't. I know that this is all speculation.
But see, what I'm saying is that I think it could do a lot to bridge the gap between those movies, because I think a lot what's people have issue with is the fact that they really don't know what happened in those 30 years between Return of the Jedi and that. Because as far as content, other than The Mandalorian and the books, nobody knows. And especially with the books, because most of the people that are being critical of the movies haven't even picked up a single one of the books yet. So, I mean, I don't know.
Keely, pal.
Been a while.
I say it's unavoidable.
Well, I just keep thinking about this Grogu. We're going to be so attached to Grogu over these seasons that if Luke does start a school,
well, we know he did. We know he does, but he
meets up with Luke. Can you imagine?
Well, yeah, Kyle is about 5 years old around this time,
especially since he survived the first massacre with Anakin. and he finished. I mean, his grandson finished what he started. Oh boy! I mean,
Okay. All right. I want.
Yeah. What happened, Ambassador? I don't know.
What?
Did he bounce?
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I mean, that's where I was thinking about last night. That's what my wife's like. I'm like, oh wow, you're right. And then the big problems with a lot of the Last Jedi people have that were not happy with Luke is that time period. Could they actually get Hamill back? I don't know. Sebastian Stan is, of course, is I think he would do it if he's approached.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
he's old. But he's older then, so it would have to be Hamill. I mean, yeah, we have to.
Yeah.
Okay. As I said before, sorry. As I was starting to say before, my camera decided to be an ass. Phoenix Night Flame brings up something.
Your camera's not the only one. No, I'm just kidding.
Ha ha ha. Mando won't have the same impact for the sequels that the Clone Wars had for the prequels for this main point. None of the main sequel characters will show up in Mando, unlike in the Clone Wars. That's the biggest thing. Because you're not going to see Han. You're probably not going to see Leia. We might see Luke. Maybe. But
well, you don't know what is going to happen with the Ahsoka series. And I mean, Filoni directed this episode. He wanted, and you have to remember, they were going to do a Rebel. I think they were going to. I think if I remember right, that they were going to do a Rebel sequel animated first series. I think they just moved it to live action. Really?
Yeah, I think they've moved it to live action. But honestly, I don't particularly care about the period of time between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. I could give two hoots in hell.
Oh,
to be perfectly candid.
I'll bet you now, Ambassador, your tune will change when you see it, because I think that's that's where they're going to go. I mean, if you follow the pattern too of how they did after the prequels, they filled in gaps and made it stronger and it made everything better. I always liked the prequel trilogy, but that period of time after, with the Clone Wars and all that made it so much stronger. Maybe they even. Now, I don't think they had foresight to leave chunks out of the story and plot to The Last Jedi to make the franchise better. But did they do? Disney does have a habit of leaving things overly vague so they could do other projects, books, and other supplemental material to a fault. But there's big opportunities there, and that's how you make the look. The things that were, if you the sequel trilogy is not going anywhere, why not make it stronger? Why not make it stronger?
To be perfectly candid, like I said, I do not care about the sequels. As far as I'm concerned, the story ended with Return of the Jedi. Mandalorian, I will be happy to accept, but as far as anything to do with the sequels, I don't give a rat's behind. I really don't. I just want them to tell a good story in this show. That is the thing for me.
I actually really hope in 10 years after we get all these TV series in the universe fleshed out, the Mandalorian series, Ahsoka season 2, all this other stuff that I do want them to bring Daisy Ridley back and Rey for 10.
You really think she's going to come back to this train wreck?
This always happens. Even
you
if
get that nostalgia after time.
Even if the franchise is really well regarded, the actors get tired of it, and then they always come back to it.
You seriously think Daisy Ridley and Oscar Isaacs and John Boyega are going to come back to this?
I don't know if Boyega will. I'm not sure.
I don't think any of them will, to be perfectly honest. I would not blame them one iota. Look, I don't really want to.
The characters and the actors are good, regardless if you like it or not, of how they executed on them. The actors are good actors, and the characters
are good actors, but the characters that they portrayed weren't given a proper script to work.
Hey, Binge buddy.
Hey, Jack.
Hey, I should send you an invite on Discord, Binge buddy. I want to get your thoughts on this. Jack has said, should I join Twitter. No, but it's hard to get you. Oh, damn! I went to the wrong thing. Let me get
for the record, I don't hate Star Wars. I don't even necessarily hate the sequels. I simply don't care. I ignore them. I just don't acknowledge them as part of canon. As far as I'm concerned, the Path poster behind me, Return of the Jedi, that's where the story ends for me. Anything else is icing on the cake.
Well, that's no fun. That's no fun.
Why?
Yeah.
You got to give things a shot.
I did. I saw all 3 movies.
All right.
When they,
Dude,
look, I'm going to say this and I'm going to leave it there. They assassinated a character that I personally connected with, that being Luke Skywalker. As far as I'm concerned, the story was over.
No.
Period. This is a poorly conceived, badly produced fan fiction.
Zeno says the sequel trilogy are part of the saga. You cynics need to get over it, or just take a pill for your derangement. Yeah,
I don't have a derangement. I simply
you
don't
have sequel
care.
derangement. Admit it.
sequel derangement syndrome.
I simply don't care.
All right, Phoenix Night Flame says Rey, Finn, Poe, Kylo aren't showing up in Mando. The time for no, I'm not saying that. I think it has plot points that could lead into the sequel trilogy.
Yeah, feed into the books a little bit. I want to know. See, I'm the exact opposite. All I want to know is what happened after Return of the Jedi.
Yeah,
I do too.
I mean, that's what I wanted to see.
As far as the connecting to the
I'm just saying you're being a little bit hypocritical when you're saying that you don't acknowledge anything after Return of the Jedi, but we're talking about Mandalorian.
Okay, let me qualify.
5 years afterwards, so it's like you're just being picking and choosing at that point.
Brian, let me qualify my remark.
Okay, please do.
As far as what happens after Return of the Jedi, when it comes to the canonical story 1 through 6, the story for me is done. Anything else, I consider it EU, expanded universe, and I will be happy to accept it if it's good. Mandalorian has been good. Yeah. Mandalorian has been good. Whatever else they come out with over the next several years will be good. But as far as me considering 7, 8, and 9 canon, I don't.
It's canon. It's canon.
You consider it canon. You consider it canon. I don't. You have that right to do so. I have the same right to not acknowledge it as canon. Right. I'm not going to say that you can't. If you want to accept it as canon, fine, do so. Brian, if you want to accept it as canon, do so. But I don't.
I think everything else could be actually fixed by supplemental material except for the Rise of Skywalker. That just I can't. I'll have to give it another shot. That's the one.
Not even the book saved it.
No,
I mean, the other ones, the books did a good job, but no, they didn't.
But the right with Palpatine coming back and ships coming out of and him just having unlimited power and all this other stuff. I'm like, I have to give it another shot. But yeah, Zeno, you're right. Star Wars hate is tired. Get a grip.
I don't hate Star Wars. I never have.
He's just poking.
Yes,
really indifferent.
I know exactly who Zeno is. He just changed his name and changed his icon.
Yeah. Grobnob says heresy. Episodes 7 through 9 were rubbish. Throw in the dumpster and set the garbage alight. I think there's good spots in there. Like I like The Last Jedi more than I did before The Rise of Skywalker. When I saw The Rise of Skywalker, I'm like, this is all that they were going to do, just like a carbon copy with, and bring Palpatine back, or it would have been Snoke instead of Palpatine. I'm like, I don't blame you, Rian Johnson. I thought about making I'm sorry, Rian Johnson video. I might still do one. I apologize, Rian Johnson, but you're still not getting your trilogy. You're still not getting I do hope my binge buddy Jack gets in here. Not my Star Wars. I agree. I don't think she has any talent as a creative. I think she connects people and she goes with what's popular, and she got popular directors and Rian Johnson. That was the weird one.
Well, I was just saying she's mostly just a desk jockey. I mean, I don't think I think we're giving her way too much credit for what she actually has.
She's a Hollywood go to.
Of course,
but she connects people.
Look.
All right.
Executive producer sometimes does a ceremonial job.
Phoenix, Night Flame. Sure, there might be plot points that tie in, but it won't have the same impact because part of the best part of the Clone Wars were the characters' development, Anakin, Ahsoka, the clones, etc. Mando won't have that. Yeah, the Mando might not, but the Ahsoka series, they didn't just bring her in like that for nothing.
No, for a reason.
My one downside is if they don't have another episode with her, and then we have to wait. Like all my energy was like, I want to see this. But am I going to be disappointed if they just go back to Mando? I mean, I don't know.
To be perfectly honest, I will be happy once they resolve Grogu or the child's story arc and we get back to just the Mandalorian doing his thing. That's what I'm looking forward to going forward with the Mandalorian series.
Yeah,
so
but
I'm hoping that maybe by the end of this season, maybe Grogu goes off with Ezra or Cal Kestis or Luke or whoever. I don't care. And yes, I know. I'm sorry. You know what? I like the name. It fits within the universe as far as I am concerned. We've got all sorts of weird sounding names. I mean, for crying out loud, we've got a guy named Thrawn. We've got a character named Kylo Ren. Think about 1977. Darth Vader. That is a weird sounding name. And Grogu? Y'all are griping about that.
Well, okay, DC, I want to get DC's comment here. I don't know why Disney got all the blame for Star Wars. It's either Disney or Kathleen Kennedy, but never talk about George Lucas selling Lucasfilms to them in the first place.
Yeah, true.
That's complicated. I don't think George wanted to. I think he was in a position after the sequel trilogy response, the Indiana Jones 4, and even Red Tails. There was a documentary at the time. My Binge buddy Jack is here.
Oh man,
have you been following the Mandalorian?
Oh yeah, man. I've been watching all those episodes, all that good stuff.
Okay,
it's like the most excited I've actually ever been for Star Wars in
yes,
a few years.
Did they deliver Ahsoka for you? Did you like, yes, this is Ahsoka?
Yeah, I guess so. Sorry, I'm eating right now, but
that's all right.
Oh yeah, it was great. It was good seeing kind of seeing how the writers really focused a lot of detail into the story, and they kind of like it just shows kind of what we could have going forward, and that's why I'm really excited. That's why I was really excited.
Are you a Rebels fan?
I did watch Rebels. It was just, to me, it really ruined it just because we found out that a lot of these characters survived. So I was kind of turned off, especially like when people like Ahsoka, Rex, all these players came back into play. It really ruined it for me just because, okay, how did they survive? What's all this? How are they here? Why is this happening? You know what I mean? It was just...
It really makes me want to go back and watch Rebels over again. And then these actors that are possibilities for this, the Ahsoka series, I really just think, come on, Dave. We have to be getting Dave Filoni directing the Ahsoka series.
Yes.
Because otherwise there would be an announcement for his next animated series. He's been directing live action episodes of The Mandalorian. It's the most logical thing to do with all this momentum. And yeah, anyone that does anything with Ahsoka, he has to sign off on it for sure. Dave Filoni. It's not
that was his character that he created, so it would be logical for him to sign off anything that's done with her.
Especially if the work goes streaming too. I mean,
what's interesting is though, would that happen in a Disney contract? Did this contract happen before the sale to Disney? I don't know if Disney would do that type of a contract with its employee. George set that up. George set that up with Filoni. I don't think you'd get that type of, if characters are made now, fresh with the new sequel trilogy in the Disney era, I don't think you're going to get carte blanche from creators to, where they have to, you have to come to me for that. It's very interesting, the Ahsoka situation. I might do a separate video on that. It's very interesting, the Dave Filoni situation with these characters. Maybe not with Rebels, not with all the Rebels, but with Ahsoka, because she started in the Clone Wars era.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he has that type of agreement with all the Rebels characters, though.
Yeah, the thing about the Rebels characters is that they're kind of basic. I don't know if you get that. They just kind of felt like those really basic characters, kind of put into the action for a new show. The story was built up really badly, and it just, to me, those characters, if they come back, cool, hooray. But at the same time, it just, to me, they don't matter. I'd rather focus on hopefully they focus more on Ahsoka, like the Obi-Wan series or whatever, all that shit. Like that's what I'm hoping they focus on, just because those are characters we built up. And the Rebels characters, as good as some of them are, I like some of the characters in there. To me, they just don't feel like they have enough of a story to build a whole new show off of it. That's.
But if they bring back Thrawn, don't they have to bring back Ezra too, or it's going to be the question that's there?
Yeah, absolutely.
They're gonna have to resolve that story arc because they left it hanging at the end of Rebels. So yeah, they're going to have to resolve the whole issue of Thrawn and Ezra. And
I get you though, Jack, that you want to see. You don't want everything so attached that you can't move forward or do that storyline. Stuck always doing the Rebels characters consistently. It's going to get to that. We are going to get it at some point. Maybe they'll introduce Thrawn first and then Ezra later.
That's going to leave so many plot holes, though. Like, oh my God, where's Ezra? And if Ezra comes next, what happened to Thrawn? It's just, it's leaving too many plot holes for me. Thrawn's went with Ezra with space whales, and apparently they're gone. I don't know where they are. And then Thrawn comes back. Everyone's going to be like, where's Ezra? Oh my God, what's going on? And it's just too many questions, and just everything no.
Oh, Zeno says, "All hail Filoni."
Yes,
and he is watching Rebels. It's so amazing. He says it's better than Clone Wars.
Well, dude, they came out with a book right before Rise of Skywalker came out called Resistance Reborn, and it's basically Poe Dameron going to Harrison Dula and bringing them back in. And the Ghost, Phobic says it down there. The Ghost was in Rise of Skywalker.
Everything was in Rise of Skywalker. It's like they cut and paste everything into production. Let's have every ship ever in Star Wars.
Hulk freighters, man.
What was that? Just all the ships, all the ships
into that fleet.
That's like they're like, what's all in the Lucasfilm archives? Just put every ship in there for the most pointless scene ever. Like they're all there, and then it's like they all. I don't remember what happened. It was just like everything. It's just visual noise to me. Visual noise. It had no. It had no craft.
Don't get me wrong though. Like it was a good scene. It was pretty cool actually seeing all that shit. But first of all, there's so many things wrong with it because. The passage to get into that plant, there's like this crater place they had to go through. How did they get all those ships through that? So that's my question. How do you get like the Mon Calamari Star Cruisers through that shit? Like, I'm sorry, I don't know. It just seemed kind of
Well, there has to be. There's always things that aren't realistic in movies, especially fantasy, sci-fi. But the suspension of disbelief has to be within reason. Otherwise, it jumps the shark. To me, there was cool stuff in it, but it jumped the shark, and everything's just ultimate more powerful. There's no tension because it's like with the Palpatine scene with Rey. I just didn't get it. It's not like the Luke scene with Emperor. There was so much tension in that room.
Yep.
And this one, we just kind of felt like, okay, we know what's going to happen.
Yeah,
it just kind of, to me, it just kind of felt like that whole trilogy was just a retcon. That's just my honest opinion, though. I just felt like it was the same thing. It was the same thing, different story, though. It felt so similar. At least in the prequels, we got a different twist on it, and there wasn't a big final battle. This
is just the same story over with different plot twists,
but that's just my opinion. I don't know if anyone in chat likes the sequels. I don't know if you guys are in love with it. I
really like The Force Awakens. Still, I never disliked The Force Awakens, and The Last Jedi I like more now. And I ranted like hell from The Last Jedi, but after seeing The Rise of Skywalker, I'm going to give The Rise another shot. I'm not going to flip flop on it, but I'll watch it again.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
say if we're gonna compare apples to apples as far as the prequel trilogy and the sequels, I'm gonna go 2/3, 2/3. Okay, and the better 2/3 going with the sequels, because I think 2/3 of the sequel trilogy is better than
Okay.
2/3 of the prequel trilogy. The first two movies put me to sleep. I can't watch
Oh,
them.
I love them.
I can't do it.
Yeah, that's like, but
Phantom Menace
I was good.
instantly. Same thing with the Attack of the Clones. I just can't do it. I
The
cannot
pod
sit through
race.
it
Hey,
in
you-
one scene,
Sword of
in one
Fates,
sitting.
Qui-Gon,
Oh,
Jar Jar.
if you fast forward to those parts, like on the fan cuts on YouTube, that's cool. But no, getting to those parts, like the storm's coming at me, and then that stupid dinner scene, and then the 15-minute lead up to the pod race, because Lord knows we got to have a pit report. You know, I'm just like, oh
the
god,
pod race,
it's like,
the pod race
it's like,
is my
it's like watching a NASCAR race. I did the same thing after
Honestly,
5 laps.
I'll say one thing I think they need to do with the sequels. If they really want to kind of make those movies interesting, they need to make shows kind of like Clone Wars, because Clone Wars saved the prequel trilogy
Yeah.
from
They
complete
need to do
destruction.
something
So
like
what they need to do is that
Resistance,
they need
but
to.
not suck. Yeah.
I know Resistance. Oh my god, I cannot. I couldn't.
No,
watch
I
the
didn't
first
like
episode of
Resistance
that.
either. I was watching it for tie-ins, and I'm like, this is a kids show. Like,
What's going? And
it's a
I think that
goofy-
if they make a show in between like Last Jedi and Rise of Skywalker, maybe they can finally fill in all those plot holes. Like, where the hell did this fleet come from? How did they meet all these people? Like, where are they getting this information? How did Hux become a spy in that quick amount?
That was the dumbest point.
Well, that's why I like that Resistance Reborn book, because it does. It takes place in between the two movies.
That Hux
Yeah.
thing in the Rise of Skywalker, I was so pissed at that. I'm like, this was just thrown in there. It didn't make any sense whatsoever.
You know, y'all.
I'm helping you because I hate Kylo. Wasn't that what I was like? What?
Yeah.
Uh,
I just want
Yeah.
Kylo Ren to lose.
they fly now. They fly.
Jay-
Zeno's getting
They
hot
fly
in the
now.
chat. That the ghost was in the front, pointless my ass. It was the cavalry saving the day. All right, I'll give it out. Zeno, I'll watch it again just for you. Maybe I'll watch it with my wife.
It had Wedge and Antilles, man. Wedge.
Y'all the
He wasn't in that movie enough, man.
January, I'm going to be doing an MST3K of both those movies. Y'all have to come over, or come
Okay.
to. I'll send you invites out for the stream. We're gonna MST3K those two suckers.
And I'm going to
Barcelona-
sit there and enjoy it.
Barcelona B
Popcorn in
says
hand.
haven't seen the Resistance. The animation looks horrible. I started. I never
I wouldn't.
finished.
Honestly, Barcelona, I wouldn't watch it. It's not good. It's not good.
I mean, I'm up for it, but then I keep thinking, would I rather watch this or would I rather rewatch Rebels? And
I'd rather rewatch Rebels.
I'd rather rewatch Rebels.
Yeah.
Because at least you get Thrawn. Of course, everybody
Oh, I love Thrawn.
gets the moans about Thrawn's not how he was in the book. They made him into a blank.
Now here's the problem with this, the way this episode went. Now, answer in the panel and the chat. Would you rather see the Mandalorians if you can only have one? Would you rather see the Mandalorian, or would you veer off and say, "Let me follow Ahsoka now"? Now that Ahsoka, what if Ahsoka takes Grogu and then the Mandalorian drops off? What would you go with? If you can only have one, if you can only see one, would you go with the Ahsoka storyline or go back to Mando?
Ahsoka. I'm sorry. That character has been built up so well, where it's everyone like people have been hyped up for this episode for months, and they've been waiting for her to return. Mando, it's a good character. Don't get me wrong. I love the Mandalorian character, but
Without
more
Grogu,
people are interested in the characters returning in, kind of like this. Like, okay, most people didn't really care about like the Mandalorian this episode. They wanted to see live action Ahsoka. You know what I mean? So I think more people would be interested in a Ahsoka storyline than a Mandalorian storyline. That's just my opinion, though.
I might buck the trend a little bit. I'd rather stick with Mando.
okay. But you know what I think they should do if they do have to get rid of Grogu too?
No,
That this is where you're gonna
No.
have Grogu's be
No.
Mando all along.
no, just Grogu or Baby Yoda. I'm not calling him Grogu. Baby Yoda.
But this is where you bring in who directed Predators? What's the director's name? This is where you bring him in and do an action-packed episode without Roku. What's his name?
Shane Black or whatever.
No, not Shane. Get Shane Black out of here. He did that last Predator. No, Predators with
with the big schnoz. What?
Predators.
I forgot his name. Damn it.
Okay.
Robert Rodriguez.
Yeah.
This is where you put the babies away and let the Mando play and go hardcore with Robert Rodriguez. Because I don't think they have his episode yet, did they?
No, I don't think so. And I think just the Mando story with the Mandalorians and finding out about the Purge and will Bo-Katan get the Darksaber back? I mean, I think there's so much to be explored there too. So, and yeah, it will run into the Rebels because unfortunately, I mean, Sabine Wren is Mandalorian. So,
yes,
I don't know. I hope we end up on Lothal because that's where Sabine's at. And I think it was convenient at the end of Rebels where they lined it up 5 years after. So I think it's going to work.
Says the animation was the highlight. Look, Breath of the Wild. He's talking about the Resistance.
Okay,
you like the animation.
I want to. If we've got the time, I want to dig into something in terms of Grogu or the child. Okay, we know that he has been alive since the prequel era. I want to pose a question to you all, and this is something me and Mam and Bastard talked about this morning, I think. If you remember how Yoda acted at the beginning of, when Luke meets him in Empire Strikes Back, and then we finally get that character, we get that personality shift, for lack of a better term. Do you all think that for lack of a better term, the infantile manner that Grogu or the child is acting is an act? And do you think he's more intelligent and is more intelligent than he is putting on?
I would have thought I could have seen it at the beginning of season 1, but at this point when he's interacting with Ahsoka and the Mando in the woods with the testing it, I don't know if he would have kept it up that long. I know he isn't as powerful as he would be because he tried to hide it.
Mm-hmm.
But are you saying, like, even though he's an older age, that do you think he is still infantile in his thoughts too?
I think to a certain extent he is, but I don't think he is as far as, because we know that Yoda's species, whatever the species name is, we know that they are exceedingly long-lived. We know that Yoda was 900 years old when he died. I'm trying to remember, did Yaddle die in the Clone Wars comics that they had and everything that Dark Horse was putting out during the prequel years?
I don't know.
But even she was extremely old herself.
Yeah.
I think she did. I think she died and everything because the next time we saw the Council in Attack of the Clones, she wasn't on it.
Well, there was a 10-year span between those movies, so I think it was either died because of old age. I don't know. I don't know how they die.
I'm thinking she died and everything. I think she was killed, actually.
She died. She died. She was old. She died.
Yeah.
Rob Knob says this: Rodriguez channeling Sergio Leone in a kick-ass Western spaghetti episode. Yes. And do you think that the Rodriguez is going to be the season finale like they did with
Taika Waititi
for season 1?
It's possible. Talk about going out with a bang or anything for season 2.
And then Barcelona B said at the beginning, do you think when they go to this planet and then Grogu does the test and then a Jedi might come, is that where people are speculating where it's going to be Ezra or Luke?
That's been the plot. That's been the thought across the board.
Yeah, and then
people.
Does Grogu die when Kylo Ren destroys the temple that Luke built?
That's going to tear you apart if you know that.
Yeah, the thing is, like, it's confusing because there's just so many new Jedi being introduced. We have Ahsoka, we have Grogu, we have Ezra. Like I just like, does Ezra die in Luke's temple? Is that like one of the guys who's killed? Like, we don't know this, so I think it's just, to me, I'm kind of getting confused just because there's so many Jedi that are just popping up out of nowhere, and suddenly
this has the possibility. This is why it's so devastating. But I also don't like when Kylo did that. Even if they go this route and fill in those blanks with the Last Jedi, because that was my biggest problem with Last Jedi, is where they like have Luke in the tent and images of the temple fiery and burning. If they really flesh out the new generation of Jedi, and then my big problem is when that happened, and then you see Kylo in The Force Awakens, and Rey almost hands him his ass, which I don't have a problem with, but then also saying this is the same guy, same Jedi that turned dark and killed all those younglings and the new generation. You would think he'd be more experienced, or like I don't see him taking down Ahsoka and a seasoned Grogu, even though we don't know what happens to Grogu yet. I just don't see it. That's
I don't think Ahsoka would actually go back to.
Yeah, she wouldn't go back. He might visit.
Yeah, because she knows how corrupt it is, and also just maybe she'd be too old. I don't know. I don't know.
She is the actual in canon on screen gray Jedi, right?
Yeah, she's the gray Jedi,
well,
so she wouldn't be part of the new Jedi Order.
Well, technically, she's okay. I know there's been this big argument. There is technically no such thing as gray Jedi. I think she would be considered more of just a neutral Force wielder. She's not Jedi. She's obviously not Sith, but she's right she's basically right in the middle. She's almost going back to like the proto Jedi, or the Force wielders that eventually became Jedi before the whole schism between Jedi and Sith. So.
Han's bad feelings given a bad take. No, I like you, Hans. Dawson was bland as usual. What? I didn't hate it, but I don't love it. Oh no. No, Dawson does everything right for me. She's a beautiful actress, very talented. I like her in everything.
I agree.
So
Alexander.
Yeah, okay. I know what you're saying. Yeah. Yeah, Brian just gave you the. Hey,
no, it's okay. It's okay.
He loves film.
She is not a bad-looking actress. I look at her more for her ability and her talent than her appearance. But yeah, she's not bad-looking.
Yeah.
Clerks
Hell,
2
man,
was
if she can
good.
act, then I'm fine with it.
Yes, I will agree. She has some good comedic chops. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, she's got a nice smile too. I like that in an actress. She's not afraid to have some fun. She's not afraid to have some fun. Let me see.
Yeah, watch Clerks 2 sometime. That'd be fun.
Shiftygism. Kylo didn't kill all his classmates. They said that some left with Kylo, but they didn't cut. Yeah, with the what are they called?
Knights of Ren.
Knights of Ren. But the rest of them were killed, weren't they?
Well, I just don't think Ezra or anybody I don't think Ezra would turn to the dark side. I just don't think that would happen. I think Luke would train him enough if he even makes it to that temple. I think he would train him enough to not turn to the dark side. So I think Kylo convinced some of his less well-known classmates to join his clan or whatever. I don't know what it is. But I don't think Ezra would turn to the dark side like that. He almost did with Maul, but that's when he was really stupid. I think he would be a lot more smarter then.
Yeah, I would imagine. And Drax the Klingon, yes, I agree, because I remember standing in line for hours to get my ticket for opening night, and it was an absolute blast.
I watched it like 10 times. That's the one I watched the most in theaters. Episode.
Yeah, for us, Max, I think you and I are fairly close in age. For us, except for maybe the special editions, it was our first time to see a brand new Star Wars movie in theaters.
Shiftygism is giving you another recommendation, Brian, not just Alexander.
I know what you're talking about.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, highlight that comment by Phoenix Nightflame.
Okay, let me see.
Makes a good point, actually. Yeah, some were Force wielders, but some of them aren't.
Oh,
So,
okay.
but
didn't know that.
I think Kylo trained them to be like to not wield the Force, but almost to use the Force to defend them against Jedi or to defeat Jedi, whatever. I don't know.
Hey, Snowdub, I don't know what all the sock talk is about. Okay.
It might.
Yeah, Snowdub's going to put some stuff in my stocking this year. So.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, my fan fiction, the Knights of Ren, they actually serve a purpose, and yes, they are a Force. Yeah, I'm actually. Yeah, well, Jack, you don't. I know you don't keep track of what I do. I'm writing a fan fiction. I'm on part 5, and the Knights of Ren actually have a purpose. They don't just stand around.
Yeah, I think the Knights of Ren were a big disappointment for me too.
I know,
I wanted that. That's the other thing. Even if they flesh out the story of Luke rebuilding and training a new generation, to go back, that's the biggest plot hole now. Even after, this now to the Rise of Skywalker is that I don't see them being intimidating with the Knights of Ren in Kylo. That they could send this whole generation in flames, and then him being so all over the place in The Force Awakens. I like that in The Force Awakens, but then when you see where his character goes later, I just don't see it. Like, what if there's some really talented Jedi there that they ended him and the Knights of Ren? I want that. That should be like one of the most devastating things in the history of Star Wars. That scene.
Yeah.
The problem is they didn't flesh it out, and now we're thinking that okay, so did Ahsoka go back? Did Grogu go back to Luke's temple? What planet was the temple on anyway? Like that he originally had?
I don't think they ever said.
If it's I swear to God, if it's Tython,
no,
like
no.
it could, like
I don't think so, because Tython is quite literally, if you know EU lore, Tython is like the birthplace of Force wielders. It's where all the Force wielders from across the galaxy were gathered by these strange alien ships and brought to the planet. And that's where all the first Force wielders actually learned of the Force and how to use it, how to control it, and eventually out of that group, that's where the Jedi Order came from, and then unfortunately you had the Great Schism, and that's where the Jedi and the Sith and everything, they split off. So I don't think the planet that Luke's temple was on was Tython. It was probably
Neon Sci-Fi. Y'all did die.
That's
what I thought. Thank you, Neon Sci-Fi. I appreciate it. Yeah.
Yeah, but it kind of makes me think like, so all these Jedi come around, and you have Ezra maybe helping Luke train the new generation, and then when Kylo turns into everybody, he kills him. Like, what exactly? Like, what I'm kind of looking forward to is are we going to see something like this, or is it just going to be in the dark for a while?
All right, Kelly.
So what I'm looking for is I'm just kind of thinking like, okay, are they going to actually make a scene where they show all like Kylo pretty much doing another Jedi purge on Luke's temple instead of the main temple on Coruscant? I don't know. You're
not getting Adam Driver back at all. I don't think they could touch Kylo much because he doesn't have the mask on. Well, he does when he does does he have the mask on when he does the temple?
I don't know.
The Knights of Ren?
No.
I don't know. I think he built it
later.
Because he was in his pajamas or something.
Well, not to mention, Adam Driver's off doing bigger and better things. For instance, has anybody seen The Dead Don't Die?
No.
Yes. I was disappointed in that, except for him. I liked the movie. Oh. It was good. It was good.
Yeah, I laughed my ass off.
I think he carried the movie.
Great with Bill Murray, and Tilda Swinton, and great cast in that. That movie was funny as hell.
Yeah, that is on HBO Max right now.
Yes, it is.
I did have.
For those that have it, I suggest y'all go watch it.
Oh yeah, definitely watch it.
Adam Driver is a great comedic actor. He was wasted in that other thing.
Now, binge buddies. I didn't intend to talk about the Mandalorian the whole hour, but we kind of did. But we could. But that's good though. That's good though.
Yeah.
I Oh, Sir Nerdalot says The Dead Don't Die was hilarious.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you,
All
Sir
right.
Nerdbot. Yes.
Me and my wife were okay with it. We're just like, it didn't. All right, I'll go watch it for sure.
Yeah,
and I like everything Adam Driver or Bill Murray's in.
Bill Murray's always a win.
Yeah.
Bill Murray is always a win. Bill Murray has had pretty much a consistently good career, except for maybe Garfield. I mean, he said himself in
he was in Garfield?
Land. He did the voice of Garfield, remember?
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's okay.
Do you have any regrets? Yeah, Garfield.
Has anybody seen the second Zombieland? Was it any good?
Yeah, Rosario Dawson's in it.
Oh, was she? That's right, she was in it. I'm gonna wait and see if they do a dual pack for that, and I'm gonna see if they do a twin pack for that, and I'll get both of them same time.
Oh, I'm sure. It'll probably come on HBO Max or something, I bet.
Well, I'd like to have physical copy.
There's some other stuff that Binge Buddies, some other stuff that you can watch right now, because I have been binging a lot. There's an interesting show on HBO Max right now that we just started called The Flight Attendant. No spoilers here. It has
is it about a flight attendant?
Huh?
Is it about a flight attendant?
Yes, it is, but it doesn't go where you thought it would go. I'm not giving any spoilers here. Going fresh. I'm like, what the hell is this? It's a weird show. It has the girl from The Big Bang Theory and
Kaylee
Cuoco, and I think she's becoming more into her own in this. Even this first 2 episodes of the series, like she's getting as a better actress. I put it on as a casual watch while we were eating dinner. I'm like, this show just popped up. Let's just watch this while we eat something funny, like a sitcom, because she did The Big Bang Theory, and I thought it was going to be really comedic.
She got her start on, what was it, 10 Rules on How to Date My Teenage Daughter.
Where that was the last show of what's his name,
John Ritter.
Yeah, I like that show. I watched it. I remember when that happened. That was really sad. Yes.
There's another good episode. There's another good series that's gone into its 2nd season on Max, and that's His Dark Materials.
Yes. Thanks, Ambassador. Watch his Dark Materials. I gotta watch the last episode.
I've got to get back to it. I'm stuck on episode 3. Not stuck because I just haven't watched it yet, because they've already done season 2. I'm like, because it has the girl from
Logan.
And man, Daphne Keane. Dang, that girl can act.
I'm not ignoring you, Kancha. Hi, Kancha.
Kancha does this every time, Max. You fall for it every time.
No, okay. Love from India. Allah bless your family. Always support your channel. Yes. Off topic. There is no. Thanks, Zeno. This is supposed to be a more happy show, Zeno. We're just talking about the love of streaming, the love of binging with all my buddies here. We don't all have to watch it. Let me see. Yeah. Oh, okay. Jack might have to leave soon. Jack, hey, whenever you're available, we love having you on the show.
Yes.
If you add you add a lot to it. So we will try. We're actually going to be on Enosh's channel next week if you'd like to join us. We Binge Buddies like to go and invade another channel.
I like that. I like doing that too.
Yeah. So and I think you checked it out the other time. We're going to get him to watch the Highlander. Have you ever seen Highlander with Sean Connery?
I can't say I have.
Okay, we're doing it as a tribute to Sean Connery because of his recent passing.
Yeah.
Brian put up a poll on Twitter.
All right, well, I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, see you, Jack.
See ya.
I think that was like, okay, we're talking about.
I think Jack was thinking, oh no, go after me.
Bye, Jack. I was thinking we're talking about old movies. Okay, I'm gonna go. That's fine though. That's the younger generations. Yeah. No, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. It's just
younger generation. Enosh is our age, Max.
No, I'm like talking about like sci-fi and that. No, not that Jack's like sci-fi or anything, but sometimes you talk about older movies or something. It's just not tracking with the younger folk right now, or I don't know. But we are going to watch the Highlander, and we have to get Enosh to watch it in a review on his channel. I can't wait to see what he says. And I don't remember I have bad memory problems. I don't remember a lot of this stuff. So it's been so long since I watched the original Highlander.
I actually have the director's cut on Blu-ray.
Yes, I do too. I bought it and I never watched it. I buy a lot of steel books and I'm like, I tend to watch this. I never watched it.
There you go, man.
Because I YouTube too much. Because I used to, well, not anymore, but I used to YouTube too much. Drex the Klingon says Highlander TV series was awesome. Yes. I watched some of it when I was growing up. I was all out of order, so I didn't get the,
For me, the only good things within the Highlander universe are the first movie and the TV show. Everything else, ugh.
There was no.
Endgame was a good movie.
Zeno, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I just started. We talked about binging Mandalorian. Well, we didn't binge it. We watched the current episode, and I'm talking about the new show, The Flight Attendant. And then there's another show with another movie with Melissa McCarthy. I don't know if it's any good that just came on HBO Max.
Star Trek Discovery's getting good.
I want to see that. Good.
Oh, man, we'll have to figure out a watch party on it or something. I don't know if CBS does that or not, but we'll get that figured out.
Brian, you remember that guy I was talking about last night over on my stream, LDG?
Yeah.
He actually, I think there's a couple of channels besides himself that could probably help you out with that. If you want to do a watch party. Actually, there is a channel and everything that I do stream with periodically. His channel is called DJ Odyssey, and they do once a week a watch party. You would probably be the contrarian of the bunch because you are the only person I have heard, at least on YouTube or Twitter, that actually likes New Trek. Everybody else seems to.
I want to watch it. I just didn't. I don't want to pay for CBS Access right now.
Yeah.
And then my Amazon just all my subscriptions are canceling at the same time. Like StreamYard said, "Oh, you need to pay the yearly fee," and then Amazon's like, "Oh, you got to pay the yearly fee," and I'm like, "I don't want to pay these fees anymore." I'm keeping HBO Max, but I'm like, I don't know if I want to keep Amazon.
Yeah, I just want to respond to Drex. I have seen Highlander 2. I've seen both versions. I like Highlander 2. It's okay. Of course, anything with Michael Ironside's is always a win.
Well, they need to bring it back with the director Chad Stahelski from John Wick. That's what he's been working on. If they if they give the green light, though, that's another. Who would be the next?
I just got
an actor.
I just got a nerd tingle in a good place.
It's moving. I don't talk about my nerd tingles on air.
At least it's not as Peter tingle. We're good, right?
Oh, right, you bunch of curves. My nerd sense is tingling.
Okay. Do we have to go? Should we just end the stream?
It's getting a little too personal.
Okay. Drex says, I was still watching Star Trek Discovery has good points and bad as well. Okay.
Well, I like the fact that it's years in the future to where it can't screw up holy canon for people. Well, you know what I mean?
You know what what else I forgot to do, Brian, is I forgot to make my binge list, to-do list.
I started. There's a couple.
One of them is Star Trek Discovery, Lower Decks. I got to finish Westworld season 3.
It's really funny. I would love to check it out, but I may wait till it comes out on like Blu-ray or something.
Well, I guess I'm kind of doing it now by naming it Star Trek Discovery, Lower Decks. I know
someone of Picard is out on video.
Oh, I want to see Picard 2, Westworld season 3. I've seen the first 2 seasons. Mm-hmm. Season 3 started out really good, and then I fell off. His Dark Materials. I need to see Chernobyl.
Yeah,
I've never actually watched. What's that mafia show on HBO?
Oh, The Sopranos.
Boardwalk Empire.
Sopranos.
Oh, Sopranos.
Well, Boardwalk Empire too. I started that.
That's a really good one.
Steve Buscemi. I forgot Steve Buscemi was in Dead Don't Die. And so is Danny Glover.
See, I'm revealing my whole list here. Yeah, Boardwalk Empire is another one I started. I didn't even finish Breaking Bad. What the hell am I doing on YouTube?
Time to go, man. We gotta get watching.
Rob Knob says I watched some Star Trek Enterprise with the Conlica. That was okay. Never saw the Next Generation. Yeah, that was my favorite Star Trek. It was Enterprise with Scott Bakula.
Grobnob, I was telling Brian and Max about this before we got started. If unlike your streaming, like your Fire Sticks and stuff like that, on most of your consoles, your gaming consoles, there are different streaming platforms. This one in particular is free, completely free. It's called Pluto TV. I suggest you go check it out and everything. They've got channels dedicated just to Star Trek. They've got all the Bond movies, at least up until the last of the Brosnan ones, anyway. Mm-hmm. And they've got a lot of older shows and everything. Great stuff.
Yeah, that's a good recommendation. Stargate. Oh yeah, Stargate's coming to Netflix.
Really?
It's 10 seasons. I did some, but I watched all that. I think I've missed that show was great at the beginning, and
wow! Now I definitely gotta watch Boardwalk Empire. It's got Michael Shannon.
Yeah.
Gerald Zod from Man of Steel.
Yes. So there's a lot. So maybe next week we could do since we're on Enos has got a bigger channel. We'll do our official list, Ambassador and Brian. Reveal it. Maybe we could get some out of Enosh to see what else he hasn't seen. Because the guy that has every action figure, it's very surprising that he hasn't seen this movie, especially his age too. Not that he's old or anything, but
he's only 2 years older than me.
Right. I mean, the age.
The first 5 minutes of it.
He's our age group, sort of. Most of us here, and he hasn't seen it. It's like, what else? We should get him to reveal his list.
Brian, I think you're the youngest of us on here because I know Max is in his. Max, you're in your 40s, aren't you?
No.
Late 30s?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm the oldest one then. Oh, well, that's okay. With age comes wisdom and patience.
Not for me yet. I'm still waiting. So is my wife.
I've been the old patient guy since I was in my 20s.
Oh, all right. Well, we got to work on that. We got to work on getting on Enosh on the lounge, and we got to see. Hey, Enosh, we need to pick your brain more to see what you haven't seen. Zeno is saying adios. See you later, haters. Not you and you. Okay, he's just trying to. He's poking the ambassador bear.
Get under the dander.
Sorry.
Zeno, I want to know what's on your list that you haven't watched yet either. Shows or movies or something. It could be movies or shows because streaming services have movies.
My hide is impervious to trolls. I have troll-proof skin. So
don't taunt the trolls. Lex is a great sci-fi show.
Bring it. I dare y'all, bring it. I don't care. I don't give a rat's ass.
The other one I got to binge that's on my to binge list is Doctor Who, the new Doctor Who. I'll be honest with you. I respect the old Doctor Who. It's just not my thing. I got to go to like the Christopher Eccleston era. I've seen some of that. I've seen some of Dana Tennant, and that's it. And I want to, and that's on HBO Max, I believe. Doctor Who.
Yes, they've got. Well, it's modern Who. They've got it starts with Eccleston.
What about you, Brian? What about you? You're into sci-fi. You like Star Trek? Ever got the Who bug?
I've never seen Doctor Who at all. I think it's one of those. It's one of those shows that I find overwhelming. It's like I've never seen it, and it's got so much there that's like I don't know where to jump in. You know what I mean?
What about you?
It's almost the same thing with like Stargate, the series. Never seen it.
Have you ever seen Doctor Who?
Who do you think you're talking to?
Okay, you've seen Doctor.
Fourth Doctor is my Doctor. Now, I like some of the modern Doctors. I like Eccleston. I like Tennant. I like Smith. I haven't seen Capaldi. I haven't seen enough of Capaldi to see whether I like him or don't, or anything. But of the modern three, I like them. I like the stories that they did. I like the acting. I think I heard. I can't remember where I heard, but I heard Eccleston might be coming back for something related to Doctor Who. I think it's gonna be like a radio series or something that he might be coming back for, and I'm good for that. But yeah,
Great
I've got
from the Drexus with Sliders. Yeah, I watched a little bit of Sliders. I didn't really get into it too much.
I gotta get back into my 90s, 80s, and 90s reviews of stuff and everything. I gotta make a list. Of course,
New Doctor Who is so old stuff as 25-minute episodes with cliffhanger endings. Okay.
Tom Baker, the Fourth Doctor. I have a Funko Pop of the Fourth Doctor in our spare room, and Grobnob, yes, Baker was my doctor, and he was.
What happened where I was getting into Doctor Who and then I tuned out was when Tennant, and spoiler alert if you haven't seen any of it, they sometimes have what are they called? Not the assistant. What are they called? Faster. Companion.
Yeah.
When the companions switch, it kind of throws me off.
Yeah.
And if there's a new companion that comes in and you're not you don't like them that much, you kind of you lose track, and that's where I lost track and never went back. Tenet when the companion changed. But I have to get back into it because I think and I also want to see, like you said, Capaldi. I haven't seen any Capaldi episodes. I've seen very few Matt Smith episodes. I'm very interested in the Woman Doctor. Let's go woke with Doctor Who. Don't give me any spoilers, Ambassador. I know people complain. That's like the biggest thing to complain about with like the new Star Trek is
now here's the thing for me.
Yeah.
I was all on board for having a female doctor. I had no problem with the female.
Don't give any spoilers. Okay.
Max, I haven't watched a single episode. I haven't had the means nor the time. So there aren't any spoilers here. All I'm going to give is my general opinion. As far as it being a female, I didn't care. I was cool with it. I was willing to give her a shot. But hearing reviews that I've heard, I don't.
Well, I mean, it's all from YouTubers, though.
Granted, yes, but from some of the opinions are people, and I've even got friends who are Who fans, like major Whovians, and even they have said that they are hardcore. I mean, even more so than me, because they have followed Doctor Who, anything since forever.
Neon Sci-Fi gives a recommendation. This is what Binge Buddies is about. If you like supernatural and demons, watch the TV show Evil. Never heard of it.
Interesting.
What is that on Neon Sci-Fi? We're going to end it soon. We want to keep this a tight hour. We've gone a little bit over an hour, but we've gone into some recommendations. We have to figure out segments for this show, to give it a tight, I think the binge list is to-do list is kind of interesting. Grobnob, I kind of like Matt's. You know which one was that I actually checked off the list was the Social Dilemma that I did that with Brian. That was on my to-do list, and I finished it.
Excellent.
Grobnob says, I kind of like Matt Smith best. All the new stuff. The woman who's rubbish, she's awful. Okay. Helen Mirren would have been a better doctor. A real actress. Okay. He's going on and on and on. Someone with a personality. Grobnob does not like the new doctor. Okay.
Well, I think
I'm interested to see Capaldi because I know he's a talented actor.
I heard some people have said Capaldi's run was 50-50. 50% of it was good, 50% of it was not so good. Not that it was completely terrible or without merit, but just that it could have been done better.
All right. Well, we gotta sign out. Binge Buddies out because we're also losing a few viewers. Thank you for watching. There's great things to come. We're gonna keep working on the show. This is kind of the reboot. Yeah, everyone likes reboots. No one really likes reboots, but it happens. We're
Binge Buddy, the soft reboot.
Yeah, the soft reboot. Binge Buddies return, and we're working on things. Brian's got that.
Buddies right again.
Yeah. Who should never really be gone. I would like that. Probably worded better than that as a poll for. I really think Mace Windu should come back. I want Mace Windu as a series. Definitely. If they got to bring everyone, why? What's your deal with Mace Windu?
They
You know,
brought
like
back
Samuel
Boba
Jackson.
Fett. Why the hell not? Honestly,
He's bloody.
yeah.
dead.
So was Boba Fett.
What did we actually see him die?
Did
Now-
you see the amazing acrobatics in the prequels? He's blown out the window. He could have survived that. His hand was cut off. I mean, he's more
He was being shocked by massive amounts, more so than Luke. Massive amounts of force lightning. Has been proven that stuff kills.
with one. It's not like
If Palpatine had kept going for at least another 5 minutes
Like,
on
no.
Luke would have been dead. I'm sorry. Mace Windu, as much as I like the character, and I do, he's dead.
No. And Samuel L. Jackson wants to come back. He's been asking for it.
I doubt if he wants to come back.
No, he does. He honestly said, "Hey, George, when's Mace coming back?" For real. I'm not making that up.
Yeah.
He has said that. No, I mean, Samuel L. Jackson has so many movies for the checks. I think he generally wants to be. He always wanted to be in Star Wars. He's like, didn't he want it?
I loved it. I liked him as Mace Windu.
Yeah.
I even liked his character in Clone Wars. But I'm sorry. It's one thing for them to, okay, you know what? No, because I've already talked about this. I don't feel like talking about it anymore.
All right. Well, good night, everyone.
Dead, period.
Binge buddies unite. Bye, buddies.
Peace. Y'all have a great one. We'll see y'all next week.